Hey guys, I'm Grestar, and how about we watch a death battle, Raven versus Twilight Sparkle. Of course, as always, make sure to click on the link in the description below to go to the official release first, like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff, and then come back here and we'll watch it together. So yes, it's Raven from Detective Comics against Twilight Sparkle from My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. Now, many of you probably know that, one, I don't know like any characters in existence ever. Cool. But many of you also know that I would consider myself to be a brony. If you saw like my Rainbow Dash versus Starscream, or Deadpool versus Pinkie Pie, or other things miscellaneous around the internet or whatever, yeah, I am a brony. At least I consider myself one. However, I'm aware that a lot of people by this point probably would not consider me a brony, considering I haven't watched the show since season 4, and I swear we're on like season 7 or something right now. So what I'm saying is it's been a long time since I've actually seen My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, or any My Little Pony in general for that matter. And I can't say that I remember everything that I saw to begin with, so I don't know off the top of my head all, like what all the powers are going to be using for Twilight are, like what scenes, what feats they're going to take advantage of, and I really don't know anything about Raven. If you saw from my next time in the last death battle, I tried to decide what was like similar about the two, and I understood that there was magic. But it seemed like just magic, considering how diverse magic can be. It didn't seem like that was appropriate enough of a reason for me. So I actually was like kind of disregarding that, more in favor of just like, is it because they're the same voice actress? Tara Strong. And, but I feel like people were saying it's because they both used magic, so, whatever. But what kind of magic? I don't know. I mean, Twilight's is friendship magic, like it's kind of whatever the show needs it to be. It's not as serious a show as like Justice League or whatever would be. I don't think Raven's in that, for the record. I'm just saying. I mean, she's in Teen Titans. I don't know if she's ever actually been in another animated thing as a not teen or whatnot. But point is, I don't think Friendship is Magic has the same kind of rule set as something with a more serious tone like Teen Titans, or such a show would have. So I don't know how Raven's magic would compare to Twilight's magic, and I don't really know what Raven is capable of or what she's been through herself. I know that in My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, basically whenever a villain came up, they would kind of just be handled by some BS, magic of friendship at the end, Like, oh, this is so hard, but when we work together and then a rainbow beam shoots out of their horns or whatever, And I'm saying this as a casual fan of the show. Those parts were a little obnoxious because it's like, look, you tried to build up a villain or whatever, or you tried to make this tense or whatnot, but then the resolution was always just sucky. Like, it always just came pretty much out of nowhere, or even if it was hinted at, it's like, but you're just god moding right now. Like, that's not supposed to be a thing, you god modder. But anyway, I guess I don't really have much else to say. Same voice actress, they both use magic, but I don't really know the extents to which they both use magic, or the rules that they have to adhere to, or the rules that Death Battle are going to use, for that matter, So I guess all we can do is wait to find out, so alright. Time for the analysis portions. With that, let's get to watching. And play.
This episode of Death Battle is brought to you by War Robots.
Hello, War Robots.
It's a 6v6 multiplayer game for iOS, Android, and Fire OS.
I see.
Games like if Wiz's love for science and my love for weapons had a baby, wrapped in rich 3D graphics.
You wrapped a baby in graphics?
By clicking the link in the description and get a huge starter pack that contains a GI patent robot with a unique skin.
I mean, for those of you who are interested, that's certainly a thing that you could do. Wait, so does that mean there's not going to be a Blue Apron commercial? Do I not have to mute that part out? It's Death Battle, Raven versus Twilight. I still don't like the music. This music I don't like it as much. Like, it's a remix, you can hear it, but I don't like it.
Yes, and how they fuel some pretty powerful magic.
That's right.
Sounds good. Like with Raven, the half-demon sorceress from the Teen Titans.
Yes.
And Twilight
Wait, from the Teen Titans? Is that all they...
From My Little Pony.
Yep.
I mean, I knew she was from Teen Titans, but I wouldn't think that was her, like, origin.
It's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Yes, in her library of all places. Respect a unicorn's library.
Can drastically change a person. Fear can trigger instincts necessary for survival.
Yeah.
Anger can increase adrenaline for incredible feats of strength.
And for this edgy-looking chick in a wicked cloak, that's kind of her thing. This is Raven.
Yay!
From the day Raven was born in her home dimension of Azarath, she wasn't the most popular girl around.
What?
Yeah, it's not exactly a good sign when right as you're born, the sky turns black and the whole world suddenly smells like farts.
Oh
Raven
no!
is the daughter of a human mother and a fearsome demon.
Who
I
is
see.
literally made up of hatred. Not even kidding.
Because of her heritage, Raven's own mental state holds the key to a fearsome inner power.
I see.
She is an empath, a mage who can sense, create, and manipulate emotions.
So her powers are all about feelings and stuff? That's pretty lame.
That's not what I knew about
Her
at
when
all.
She scrambles your brain or forces you to feel so greedy you steal from your boss.
Oh, you don't need to convince me to do that.
Huh.
What?
I mean,
Just thinking about the
that's
emotions
pretty
more.
intense. But hey, she's got a lot more deadliness packed away under that cool cloak.
When she was 18 years old,
Also, I don't know the
Raven
show they're
met her
showing at all.
father for the first time, and it didn't go very well.
No.
Yeah,
Aww.
Demon Dad shot her mom with a grandma laser. That pissed off Raven so much,
Oh.
she finally let loose.
This shadowy figure is her soul self, an extension of her spirit and manifestation of the powers inherited from Trigon.
I
Raven
see.
often wields it as her primary means of offense and defense, though it can function on its own.
I wish I had a pet bird that could do what the soul self can. This beauty lets Raven fly, use its eyes and ears, or just punch people like a big old battering bird.
Fair
It
enough.
can drain the energy and powers of others and also serves as a sort of pocket dimension, which Raven can trap a limited number of foes and objects within.
Talk about convenient. But
Yeah,
she
a little
can
bit.
do way more. She can levitate, teleport, heal others, cast energy shields, phase through walls, and blast people with mystical energy beams. Pachoo, pachoo.
Right.
But there is one drawback. To wield her power, Raven must embrace emotion, and too much emotion risks opening her mind to Trigon's corruption.
When she gives in to her darker side, her entire personality changes.
What's the matter? Afraid of the dark? I surrender!
Her
Oh.
new persona, appropriately named Dark Raven.
Dark Raven is stronger,
Creative.
tougher, and freakier than your everyday Raven. She can shoot lasers from her eyes, disintegrate stuff with her hand beams, and shapeshift. And her soul self is so powerful, it can wipe most people off the face of the earth in an instant.
Oh.
However, Dark Raven's incredible capabilities are a double-edged sword. By tapping into her father's demonic powers, she risks transporting Trigon himself to the living realm, kickstarting devastation across the universe.
Okay.
Starting. Wonder what the tier rewards are like for that. Pledge
No
20 bucks and get
boomstick.
an autograph from Satan.
Thankfully, she has been able to free herself from Trigon's control, granting her unlimited access to her own magical abilities.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes she even wears white
Good
to
then.
celebrate the occasion. Or is that just for her wedding with Beast Boy? Oh wait, that never happened. These comic books reboot way too often for any relationships to actually have lasting consequences.
Okay.
Silly me.
Last
So
but
does
not
she have
least,
that power
there's
or not?
Raven's golden form, a spiritual body free from Trigon's influence, which manifested after she turned evil and had to be killed by her friends, the Teen Titans.
I see.
Huh, that's messed up.
It
little
happens
bit.
a lot, actually. Anyway, Raven's accomplished plenty of incredible feats.
She's bent steel girders with her magic, toughed out getting thrown butt first into a brick wall so hard it broke. The wall, not her butt.
Yeah, okay.
She even helped Terra, a fellow Titan, raise the Teen Titans headquarters and the island it's on.
Terra alone was barely able to stop the island's descent, and together they pushed it back up to its rightful place. This means Raven lifted more than half of the island's weight. The Titan's Tower Island is similar in location and size to Alcatraz,
Ooh, math.
which has a width of 559 yards.
Okay.
Assuming the most likely granite composition and accounting for a 30% hollow interior.
Of course, yes, go
Raven's
on.
energy output would need to be about 14 million megawatt hours. That's enough energy to power all of New York City for over 3 years.
Raven's soul self can survive 30,000 feet below the surface of the ocean with no problem.
That's almost 14,700 pounds per square inch, 42 times the PSI needed to crack most bones.
And it's tough enough to survive laser blasts from aliens that hurt Donna Troy. Who can survive moon-busting attacks?
The
Oh.
villain Sparta's lasers could disintegrate people in an instant, which requires nearly 3 billion joules of energy.
Many much
and Raven's
joules.
soul self powered through several of these blasts and held together.
The soul self is also stupidly fast. It once flew from New York City to Blue Valley, Nebraska, and back in less than 5 minutes.
And
The
back.
distance
Oh.
between those cities is 1,166 miles as the crow, or Raven, flies.
Okay.
To make this trip in time, Raven's soul self must have flown more than 36 times the speed of sound.
Not impressed? Well, when she was golden, Ghosty Raven, she flew between the Earth and Moon like it was nothing.
So, plenty of impressive feats, but unfortunately, Raven's powers have daunting and often costly limits.
Okay.
When the soul self takes damage, Raven feels the pain herself.
She's kind of like a glass cannon, and overtaxes her own abilities pretty frequently.
But don't disregard this as only mere physical ineptitude. When Raven utilizes emotions in combat, she tackles that emotion head on. The more negative the emotion, the more pain she feels.
And don't forget, she's also struggling not to feel so Satan doesn't show up. With all that going on at once, it's no wonder she passes
So
out
that was the
sometimes.
thing that was
But
retconned?
with the help of her friends and her adoptive Azarathian family, Raven eventually overcame Trigon's iron grip and defeated him.
So we're good again
A
then.
guy like Trigon would think twice
Right?
before messing with someone as powerful as Raven.
I swear we just learned twice that she's struggling. Oh, it's fine, she got over
They're
it.
not demons. Let me show you one. Azarath, Metrion, Synthos.
Okay, now Twilight.
High above the peaceful Ponyville, the city of Canterlot rests among the
I've never
mountains.
actually seen the movie.
There, a young filly had dreams as big as Canterlot Castle itself. Her name was Twilight Sparkle.
Yay!
Here we go again.
Boomstick.
We've seen a pony that breaks the sound barrier and one that breaks physics. So
Yeah.
What crazy powerful thing can this one do, Wiz?
Hold your horses, Boomstick. We're merrily out of the gate.
Ugh,
I get
bring
it.
in, Wiz. Your lame puns are musting with my script.
Little Twilight
I also
wanted
get
to
that.
learn magic at Princess Celestia's school for gifted unicorns.
Yes.
After a very, eventful entrance exam, she didn't just get accepted into the school, she became Celestia's protege.
Which is kind of a big deal, since Celestia is pretty much pony god of the sun.
Not only that, Twilight also earned her cutie mark.
Oh, I remember those. It's that magical tramp stamp a pony gets when they grow up.
I mean,
Close
kinda.
enough? Twilight's cutie mark symbolized her life's calling, specifically her destiny in mastering the art of magic.
This peppy purple pony wasted no time and hit the books to practice hard. By the time she was an adult, she'd read her entire collection of 20,000 books.
That's right, Owlicious.
Boomstick, have you ever read a book before?
Do gun manuals count?
That's a
Why
cute
not?
drawing.
Oh, there we go.
Twilight learned all sorts of powerful and
I like they
useful
put
magic.
Twilight in
She knows so many
disguise.
spells it would take well over an hour to describe them all. Her memory is so crystal clear, she can recall a complex spell after a mere glance.
But here's some highlights. She can move stuff with her mind, shoot concussive energy blasts, raise magic shields, and rapid-fire teleport.
She can manipulate gravity, ignite things on fire, freeze others in place, walk on clouds, and even mastered the transfiguration spell.
If
As
only
a
she,
filly,
used
turned
these
her
things
own
more
parents
often.
Into plants.
Talk about weird.
She's even transformed a single apple into a nest of bird eggs, which, hatched somehow.
She just create life.
Yeah, but Twilight's
Wow,
magic
magic!
doesn't just stem from her vast knowledge of spells and history. In the world of My Little Pony, magic is drawn from and controlled by a unicorn's emotions.
Oh, here comes the touchy-feely stuff.
The stronger a unicorn feels about something or someone, the stronger their magic becomes.
Yep.
Well, I've always found magic is tied to my emotions. Whatever I'm feeling fuels whatever I'm doing. And the stronger I'm feeling, the stronger the magic.
Across Equestria, Twilight Sparkle is one of the few ponies to master the most powerful magic of all. The magic of friendship.
Okay, Wiz, I know a metaphor when I see it. Ending a night out with the girl, so magical.
Oh, no, that's not it at all. In truth, friendship is the only weapon powerful enough to defeat Equestria's most dangerous enemy.
I mean, yeah.
What? They weaponized
Like I talked about
friendship?
at the beginning.
Awesome. Hey, Wiz.
They just pull that at the end every time.
You're friends forever. Come here, give me a hug. Where are the friendship lasers?
Get off me.
Oh, yeah, upside. I slipped.
Twilight's
Well, that was probably the
friendship
best
magic is
part
at its
of
most
this death
powerful
battle.
when focused through the elements of harmony. When used together, these ancient artifacts are a near unstoppable force, even capable of overpowering the villain Tyrek after he stole Twilight's powers, along with the rest of Equestria's. Twilight's crown with her personal element contains a powerful magic in its own right, enough to literally change the fabric of reality in another dimension with its mere presence.
And of course, we gotta talk about those wings of hers. She was born a unicorn, but after completing an ancient spell about, what else? Friendship,
Yup.
she transformed into an alicorn.
And mastered the
A
wings
liquid
almost
unicorn
instantly.
and a Pegasus, and a chance to sell just a whole ton more merchandise.
It's a good thing too. Alicorn magic is leagues more powerful than a plain unicorn's, and Twilight needed the extra boost to defend Equestria as its newest princess.
Like when she fought that Tyrek guy.
After Tyrek absorbed the magic from Equestria's entire population, Twilight was forced to confront him herself while wielding the power of 4 alicorns.
When did it become Dragon Ball Z with baby girl horse toys? Anyway, check out
That's one of
how
the fights
Tyrek
that could
dropped
have been
Twilight
cool, but then they
straight
ruined
into
it at the
his
end, you
mouth,
know?
And she was totally fine thanks to her magic shield.
By comparing Twilight's apparent size just before impact to her actual size of approximately 4 feet tall, we can estimate the distance she was thrown to be about 145 feet. Tyrek then closed this distance at 64.5 miles per hour. Combined with his estimated weight of over 31,000 pounds, Twilight's shield had to stand up to over 8 million newtons of force.
You know
Oh.
what? Forget it. I'm on board with this pony stuff.
I don't know how that
Twilight
force
is tough enough to
compares.
survive bombardment by anvils and pianos, fast enough to fly over 300 miles per hour without using any spells, and even strong enough to lift and carry a rock weighing 4.5 tons.
Her telekinesis is strong enough to lift a 340-ton bear and even uproot this giant flower tree thing. And with the other alicorn's magic, she can move the sun and the moon. Okay, yeah, friendship power's way better than expected.
However, if Twilight has one glaring weakness, it's her unwavering neurosis.
Oh, you mean how she's obsessed over staying organized, and if one small thing goes wrong, she totally loses it?
Yes, she has a, well, difficult time dealing with unexpected stress.
Yeah.
More often than not, she even makes bad situations worse before starting to fix them.
But hey, when push comes to shove, Twilight Sparkle pulls her weight and more.
You have no magic!
You're wrong, Tyrek. I may have given you my alicorn magic, but I carry within me the most powerful magic of all, the magic of friendship.
Alright, commercial then? Or are we
All right,
going?
combatants are set.
Are we just
Let's
going?
end this debate once and for all.
But first, prepare your loins for MeUndies.
What?
In a world plagued by despair, darkness, and terrible underwear,
Okay.
there's only one company we trust to keep the balance of style and comfort. MeUndies.com, makers of the best pair of underwear in the world.
So they had 2 sponsors for this one.
Cradle my most sacred of jewels without feeling restrained or imprisoned.
I see.
Forged from sustainably sourced fabric 3 times softer than cotton, which renders the wearer +10 in comfort and agility.
Oh.
And MeUndies.com has a 100% satisfaction guarantee. You'll love your undies or get your coins back.
It's dangerous to go unclothed. Get the softest underwear you'll ever own, 20% off with free shipping and 100% satisfaction guarantee. Just head to
Thanks.
MeUndies.com/battle. That's MeUndies.com/battle.
Time is limited. Start wearing this legendary underwear. It
So-
changed my life, and it's time to let
so it's not even,
MeUndies
like,
change yours.
Death
Go to
Battle themed, it's just they're selling
MeUndies.com/battle
underwear.
right now. But first, it's time
For a death battle and pause. All right, let's make our prediction. First, I want to say that thank you Boomstick for giving us it's time for a death battle. I really missed that in the last one, and I thought that you guys, the death battle team, had just decided to stop doing that. But that was such an iconic death battle thing that along with the death battle logo change from last season, along with the death battle music change from this season, I was like, it's just too much. So thank you for going and keeping that, because it bothered me last time. And now I'm less bothered. Yay, me! Okay, so to talk about this one, I want to say that Raven will win. She's faster. I think that in most situations she is stronger. I feel like in a lot of the stuff that, Wisdom Moonstick or the Death Battle team or whatever, what they used to prove Twilight's strength, at least the biggest feats, in my opinion, were when she, like, had the magic of other ponies, too, you know? Like, it wasn't just her. Like, Twilight is powerful, within her world and without, you know? I think a lot of that is just because it's a cartoon, and so it's like, here, you can just do this, because why not? You know, that kind of thing. But, like, when she's fighting Tyrek and all that, I believe they said that she was using the magic of, like, Luna and Celestia and Cadence. And so I don't think that it's fair to say, like, look how strong she is, because it's more, look how strong she is when she's using the combined power of 3 other alicorns, you know? Like, that kind of thing. And then when she defeated him at the end, like, yeah, it was with, like, the magic of friendship, and she is kind of representative of the, you know, magic of friendship. But every time she defeats a big villain, as far as I recall, like, as far as I've seen with the 4 seasons that I've seen, she has defeated them as a team. You know, like, all of the friends got together, and they had their elements of harmony and everything, or they find some other sort of element, you know, kind of dealing. Like with Tyrek, I believe they found something else, you know? But it was together that they were able to defeat the villain. You know, all of their powers combined, essentially. So I think that in those cases, Twilight, while powerful for sure, was acting kind of more as a focus and was able to attune, like, everyone. And yeah. And so on her own, I'm not so sure. So I just think that Raven has more experience as I mean, she definitely has more experience as a combatant. Twilight, I would say, has more experience as a student. You know, she might be more knowledgeable, she might be more intelligent, but I think that Raven, in this case, you know, is just a more knowledgeable, a wiser combatant than Twilight, and I think that she's more independent, too. Obviously, Raven has her own team, but I don't think she relies on her team as much as Twilight relies on her team. They both have, like, they both draw from emotions, and they both can be crippled by said emotions, but I believe that Raven, being an empath and everything, was also able to manipulate emotions, and so if she is able to see that Twilight can be manipulated in such a way that would give her the advantage, I think that would be quite beneficial, you know? And then, you know, we've seen that Raven, like, so Twilight survived that huge impact when Tyrek smashed into her into the cliff and everything, but Raven has also survived attacks that have, like, incinerated, or, because I forget what, what word they used, but, you know, like, just completely eradicated people, you know, moon-busting attacks. So, again, I don't know how they compare, because I'm not a big numbers person, but I want to say that Raven is going to win this. So Raven's going to win this one! And play. I hope I'm not missing it. Like, I always feel like I'm missing something.
Transdimensional teleportation? Let's give it a try.
I wonder who they got to voice act Twilight, by the way. Oh!
You saw nothing.
I know in Teen Titans Go, she likes a pony show. I've seen a few episodes of that. Oh no! You can do it, Raven! Win!
Oh no, not again!
Poor library. Yeah, words! Oh snap, she put on her crown, guys! Oh. She changed too. I just didn't want to say stuff because it sounded racist in my head.
Please work.
I want it. I need it. It's mine. All mine.
Aha! Now I've got you right where I want you.
Oh, lesson 0. I thought that had gone through her before and it just did nothing. Why did it just phase through her? Only to screech in acknowledgement.
Sorry to soil your fun.
Not plant?
Well, that was odd.
Yeah, I got one right! I feel like it's been a while.
Celestia, today I learned that the only thing more powerful than friendship is a giant bird spirit colliding into me at Mark 36.
Yeah.
This was a tricky one. Both Raven and Twilight possess numerous spells and techniques that could end the other quickly and easily.
Since they were pretty even in how many ways they could finish each other off, this fight really came down to strength, durability, and performance.
Okay.
First of all, it's pretty obvious Raven's telekinesis has been shown to be much stronger than Twilight's.
But Wiz, what about when Twilight moved the sun and moon?
That's when she had the magic of Princess Celestia and Luna, and it's well established that only their specific type of magic can move those celestial
Yeah.
bodies.
So, you're saying you want us to move the sun and the moon?
Well, I do it myself, except I don't have your magic.
This
With
art
her own
style,
magic,
this is so
Twilight
different.
has never shown
What was
anything close
that?
to the kind of
Was
force
that the
Raven
movie?
used to lift the Teen Titans Tower.
Raven had the durability advantage too. Remember how Twilight's shield held up against a hit a little over 8 million newtons?
I do, yes.
Well, Raven's soul self is tougher than Donna Troy, who can shrug off a blast worth 296 million newtons.
Oh,
That's 16 more zeros, in case you're wondering.
thank you.
Don't
I
forget
didn't want to
Twilight
count.
had the power of 4 alicorns at that time. The shield wouldn't have saved her from Raven's soul self anyway.
Not only could it absorb Twilight's powers and emotions, and not only was it capable of operating while Raven was unconscious, but it also made a mean dive bomber.
Raven's soul self could fly at speeds exceeding Mach 36. Since it's often been used as a battering ram to hit enemies, we know it has mass, but not exactly how much. However, given its size, strength, and durability far exceeds Raven's own, its mass is likely greater than hers.
Let's just
That makes
lowball it
sense.
and say they're equal, alright?
Sure, adding Raven's mass to the Mach 36 calculation, the Soul Self's ramming force at top speed comes to 15 million newtons of force, far greater than what Twilight's shield has sustained.
Ain't no pony walking away from that. Plus, Twilight's positive attitude meant Raven didn't have to even worry about pain when using her emotions against her.
While they may have matched each other in spells and skill, Raven's more powerful traits and exceptional soul self earned her a hard-fought victory.
Yeah, Raven
Yay!
really ponied up for this one.
The
Aha!
winner is Raven.
Alright, claps for Raven, everybody. And now they're gonna talk to us.
Guys, if you want to see commentary on
Called
this
it.
episode, just click
Called
that
it,
little
guys.
box
I
over
knew
there
they
and
were gonna
start a
talk to
membership
us.
trial.
And if you want the battle music for yourself, you can click the link in the description below and get it off iTunes.
What?
Next one.
Bye, guys. Next time on Death Battle. That dude. Is it the same dude versus the other dude? Oh, that's that. But that's all I know. Is that Fist of the North Star? Is that what that? I have no idea. I didn't even read the names. I didn't bother to read them. I was already like, oh, it's that punching guy. Because that's all I know of him. Anyway, let's talk about this death battle. So I guess it's about the next time. No idea. I guess we'll see. Hopefully it'll be good. That's all I can add to it. I haven't seen their respective anime and I don't know who they are aside from So, how about this death battle then? I'm happy to say that I was right because like I said, I feel like I've been wrong a few times in a row. I'm pretty sure at least twice, maybe thrice. I don't know. Maybe 17 times. Probably not. But anyway, it's good to be right again. It always feels nice. I can't give myself full credit because when I was talking like through the analyses portion, I didn't like, it came to mind the Soul Raven thingy, but I was just kind of jumbling that into her other abilities, like just her magic in general, kind of when I was thinking about that. And so I didn't think about it specifically as being the thing that would put her like over the edge, you know, give her the advantage. But I will give myself credit for pointing out to myself and on camera, you know, the whole like Twilight being, you know, having the power of the other 3 alicorns at the same time when she was fighting T-Rex, and about comparing her durability against T-Rex with the mountain ram thing versus like Raven's with the beam blast stuff, you know? So, whatever. And I didn't even really give the whole moving the sun and moon thing too much thought during the analyses. I remember brushing it off during the, I didn't bring it up during the prediction because I kind of brushed it off during the analysis portion. because I didn't think that it was really all of that relevant. Like, yeah, she moved the sun and moon, but I guess this is where my pony knowledge comes in. Like, I know that it's not because she is super powerful. Like, Celestia can move the sun, and Luna can move the moon, because that's what they can do. You know, like, that's just, they're just kind of the gods of their own domains, basically. And so they're able to do that. It's not really necessarily like a feat of magical strength. Like, could a pony theoretically, like a unicorn, could they theoretically be able to move one of those, you know, like holy beings? Because not celestial. That's what my brain jumped to. Let's make it holy, the sun and the moon. Like, could you really move one of those with telekinesis? Like, in theory, yes, but you'd have to be insanely powerful. And I just knew that in that scene, like, when Twilight was doing that, that was not the case. Like, that's not what was happening. But that's also another thing where it just seems more of a cartoony thing, rather than anything strictly serious. But it is nice to see how they actually did analyze some things. I mean, they analyzed a lot of things, but I mean specifically, there were some things that I wouldn't have considered that actually, when, you know, I think about it, they aren't too out there, you know, cartoon-wise. Like, I appreciated more, I guess, they're looking at, like, the neurosis and things like that. It was interesting seeing the different emotional kind of balances between the two characters and how those could affect them. I appreciated them using what I assume was the Discord thing, with Twilight being all gray at the end, because there was one episode when Discord was being a meanie, and he, like, kind of took away everyone's special thing, you know. So, like, Applejack, who's normally the element of honesty, you know, she was lying. Rarity, who, you know, generosity, was very selfish. And Twilight, you know, magic and friendship and all that was not so much there. And so it was cool to see. It was cool to see how that played out in the animation. As for the animation itself, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it pretty well, actually. I feel like it had more of an impact than, like, maybe it's just because I felt more confident. Like, I'm gonna be honest, you know, maybe sometimes when I dislike things, it is because I was wrong. You know, maybe sometimes when I like things more, it's because I was right. I don't mean to do that, of course. It might just be one of those subconscious biases. But I'm just gonna say that right now, like, it very well could be because of that. But I did feel that this one, I enjoyed, like, this animation better than I enjoyed the last one. I felt that this one made more sense and had better impact, both in, like, you know, with visuals and the sound design and things like that. I don't think the story behind it was all that great. It was funny that they had that reference with Raven playing with, like, the little pony toys, because I don't know how canon that is, but again, in Teen Titans Go, I know that Raven was a fan of the show. Wasn't there a pony named Butterbean or something like that? I don't know. But something to that effect. So it was amusing, but for her to have, you know, Twilight just being like, interdimensional stuff, boop, and then Raven's there like, you didn't see me playing with toys, random pony stranger. Like, first, is that how she would really react if she were playing with pony toys and then sees a pony? Wouldn't she, like, be like, oh my gosh, you know? That would be my thought. But then for her to just start attacking instead, you know, like, it wasn't really a very coherent story, but I guess it was something. It's better than them just showing up, I suppose, and being all fight, but I think that it could have made a little bit more sense. I don't know. Call me a stickler, but I do wish that they would take a little bit more time and try to figure out how they could get the two together and what could actually get them fighting. I understand that it might take more time and like a longer animation, you know? And with some characters, yeah, there just wouldn't really be a way unless you had a lot of time for them to kind of interact and get on each other's nerves, and then they'd have to be like, all right, this dude needs to die, you know? Even though that rule in Death Battle, one of them is like it takes away all pacifism or whatnot, so I assume everyone is a little more naturally bloodthirsty. But I would be okay with, you know, longer animations if they were establishing more of a story, just to give the fight a little bit more, you know, just to have there be more at stake, sort of, you know? So it's not just, look at these two nameless characters. Obviously, they have names. We just went over the analysis portions for them and everything. But look at these two. We're just gonna, like, push them together. Instead, like, how do these two characters actually relate? How are they interacting? What leads them to suddenly have such contempt for the other where they would fight? I personally think that would be really interesting to see more of. There are some death battles where that was explored to, I think, a much better extent than others. Like, it's been a long time since I've seen it, but I think that I really liked Snake versus Sam. I think that one had a good story behind it where it just made more sense. So yeah. All in all, I did enjoy this death battle. Again, the potential for bias definitely exists. It's not intentional, I can say. Trust that if you want to. I understand why people would be skeptical. But it also really, like, my opinion on something really shouldn't affect yours. If I bring up points and you're like, that is a good point, then, like, sure, go ahead and, like, take that into account. But just because I like something or dislike something more than you initially did, like, don't let that sway your own opinion of it or whatever. But yeah, overall, I like this. I'm glad I finally got one right again. No idea what the next death battle is between those two punchers, so I guess we'll just have to wait and see. And yes, I do apologize for this being a day late. For those of you who are watching on Sunday, the day I uploaded it, I had some issues with, like on the technical side, but got that sorted out, so here we are. And yes, I don't have anything else to say, so let me know what you guys thought about this death battle in the comments below, whether you liked it, whether you disliked it, what you thought about this or that, etc., so on and so forth. But remember to be kind in the comments. Disagreements are okay, but there's no reason to fight. There's no reason to, like, flame people, to randomly insult them, so just don't be a dick and we can all have fun. That's what I want. I just want us to all have a good time, so if we could do that, that would be fantastic. And you can take this heart and you can eat it, or you can just, like, hold it close to your chest and hug it for warmth at night, or whatever you want to do with it. But yes, alright. With that, we're calling it here. Cue outro, go!